Welcome back, guys. JE Live. This is Jake Ellenbogen here, and you guys can find me over on the Downtown Rams channel on Facebook, my YouTube if you're already on it, and of course Twitch. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This loss sucks. Not gonna lie. It is not fun to lose at home. It's not fun when you're one of the best teams in football and. I know a lot of people are worried about them being considered frauds, and I'm not going to get into all that. I don't think the Rams are frauds. I think, if anything, this really puts the Cardinals on the map. I think you got to give a ton of credit. First off, Kyler Murray right now would be my MVP. He has done just incredible things this season. His biggest issue is turning the ball over, as I said in the preview. And you look in this game, and he just didn't turn the ball over. It really gave them an opportunity to win that game. On top of it, you look at this game. I like the way, Darrell Henderson was really unstoppable. I mean, I think the Rams had an opportunity in this game. I think there are many things that went wrong. Anytime, you lose a game, obviously there's a reason why, right? Well, the Rams, Sean McVay's still 4-0 when leading at halftime because they weren't leading, okay? Arizona got off to a hot start. Sony Michel put the ball on the turf, which you can't have, and then was rightfully pretty much sent to the doghouse the rest of the game. Look, Darrell Henderson coming back from the rib injury, that was huge to see him the way he was able to run the football. I thought the Rams' offensive line dominated in the run game. Really, I don't think Vance Joseph, the defense coordinator for the Cardinals, had an answer to the run game. So this begs the question, why on earth did Sean McVay stop running the football? I just don't understand it for the life of me. On top of it, the defense. I think this is finally a wake-up call. I've been a defender of Raheem Morris for a minute now, and I'd still defend him to a degree, but this has to be a wake-up call. You can't just run this bend-don't-break defense, and here's why, okay? You go back last week, right? The Rams are generating pressure, and it's Tom Brady. Tom Brady can't move around the way Kyler Murray can. Tom Brady, you get to him, you can pressure him, you could win the game. Kyler Murray, as you saw, is an escape artist. He loves that. He wants you to come at him because he wants to move around and make things happen. And so that's really what it comes down to, is that the bend don't break doesn't work if you're trading a touchdown and then scoring only kicking a field goal. Furthermore, the red zone offensive, lack of efficiency was pretty self-evident there. They had an opportunity. First off, Stafford definitely got in. They should have challenged that, but regardless, they were at the 1-yard line. They should have been able to punch that in with Darrell Henderson. They didn't, and then in 4th and goal or what have you, they go empty set. Here's the problem with going empty when you're running the ball the way you are. You're telling Arizona what you're going to do. You're telling them that you're not going to run it with the guy that's gashing them left and right. You're telling them that Darrell Henderson has 14 carries for 89 yards in this game, 6.4 yards per carry. You don't have to worry about him. No worries, guys. We're going to be throwing the ball, give you guys an opportunity to make a play on it. That is the problem with going empty formation there. It really made them super one-dimensional in the red zone, especially that drive, that was a huge moment in the game. You could say Higbee should have caught it, and he absolutely should have. However, that shouldn't have even been the case. They're at the 1-yard line. Punch it in with Henderson. They couldn't stop him. I mean, they really couldn't. He dominated the whole game. Shout out to, Van Jefferson, obviously. He had a great game in this one. 6 catches, 90 yards, and a touchdown. Probably made his father on the other sideline proud. Cooper Kupp, definitely not his best game. Was targeted 13 times, only came away with 5. You can definitely see the 13 targets to 6 for Van, 6 for Woods, 6 for Higbee, 6 to Henderson. Matthew Stafford might be a little guilty of, trying to force it to Kupp. Kupp did have a few drops early on, and I do think Stafford's stats, because of it, don't look as good as what they could have been. But really, let's just go through it, right? Let's just go back. Let's go through each drive here. You go back to the first drive. They start off, it's 9 plays, 52 yards. It's about 3 minutes, a little bit over 3 minutes of a drive to start off the game. Since Arizona decided to defer, which was a great decision on their part, I would do the same. The problem is that when they did that, the Rams struck first, but they kicked a field goal. And, on 3rd and 5, Stafford passing complete to Tyler Higbee. Then they kicked the field goal. 42-yarder from Matt Gay is good. The Rams then start off. The defense gets a huge stop, and it is a quick 3-and-out. They really dominate. They set the tone early on. So now you have the momentum. You're at home. It's going to get loud. Everything's going well. You're up 3-0. And then the problem here is that, they get a nice run out of Henderson for 7 yards, and then on second and 3 at the 44, already driving up the field and in good field position, Matthew Stafford underthrows Deshaun Jackson, and he gets picked. Now, I don't mind him throwing this, and I tweeted out, shooters shoot. It's just like in basketball, right? Just like in the NBA. Your volume shooters are going to make those shots. They're going to shoot those shots. And when they miss, it sucks, but they're going to hit them. And so that's the thing. The deep ball, you have to understand, Stafford is a gunslinger. He's going to have some of these plays where you're like, all right, I didn't love that. But on top of it, let's not just talk about the underthrown ball. Deshaun Jackson has to know his spot in that position, okay? He underthrew him twice against Tampa. But this was more of an underthrow where Deshaun Jackson didn't completely blow by his man. So at that moment, Deshaun needs to take accountability and become either a defensive back in that situation to swat the ball away, or he needs to go and try and adjust himself to the football. That is the issue there. You can't have a deep threat that is soon, it has to be perfectly thrown, and if it's underthrown, you can't make an adjustment. Deshaun Jackson's been in this league for years. He needs to be able to adjust to that football. So obviously, underthrown ball, no, definitely not giving Stafford a pass, but that's a team thing, and he needs to, try and adjust to that football. That's a huge play there. You have to at least swat that out. That's a big thing there. So they get an interception there, and that was a huge turning point, in my opinion, for this game, obviously, and for a lot of people, because they were able to score on that drive upcoming. Right after, you get a field goal, and then you get a 3-and-out by the defense. You're at home. Things are going well. You turn the ball over. You give them some sort of momentum, and you're able to breathe life into their offense. So we look here. Edmonds immediately at the Arizona 13 gets a 19-yard run. Then after that, Kyler Murray throws to Max Williams. They're moving the ball. They're at the 32 now. They get a 6-yard run from Edmonds. And then they go deep to Hopkins, and that is the play. 25 yards. This is exactly my biggest issue with David Long Jr. David Long Jr. is playing zone coverage here. Okay, you might not have known that, but he is. And he's playing zone coverage on this particular play, and, DeAndre Hopkins is getting by him. Here's the problem. David Long he has to have more depth in his zone. He played way too shallow, and you could see the way the play was designed. If he's back a little further, if he has that depth, that might have been a pick. Or it's simply not thrown because it's done correctly, and now Kyler Murray has to look to somebody that's not covered. The issue was that David Long didn't get enough depth in that zone coverage, and so because of it, it opened up the play. It was a broken play on his part. Then you go and you look at the, I thought this was, interesting getting, Rondell Moore involved early on, and then, of course, they get a nice stop on James Conner, so now you're looking at 3rd and 6. Okay, the bend don't break is supposed to stop you from giving up a 41-yard touchdown, but that doesn't happen because they played this man coverage, and David Long got absolutely bodied by A.J. Green. And that is the issue. You can't have that. If you're going to play bend don't break, you have to be giving up the middle of the field. You have to be giving up, giving them these yards, not the deep. The whole point of the bend don't break is did not give up the 41-yard touchdown. So right off the bat, things were going well. This interception makes everything sour. It breathes life into the Arizona Cardinals. It gives them momentum. And then, of course, they're able to throw over the top on David Long, who is by far the weakest link on this defense. And it's a touchdown for A.J. Green. Okay, so the Rams come right back, and they respond with a touchdown, and it is a 9-play, 75-yard drive that is nearly 5 minutes long. You get a nice run right off the bat, right tackle with Darrell Henderson for 15, And then, you get another nice throw from Stafford to Higbee for 7, another run for Henderson for 9, for 15. So back-to-back, they can't stop Henderson clearly. Michel comes in to spell Henderson, even though he's in a rhythm. Michel gets 9, and then Michel's up the middle for 2. Now you're looking at 1st and 10, and Stafford throws a 14-yard touchdown to Van Jefferson, which, by the way, fantastic job on this play by Stafford. If you didn't realize it in real time, Van Jefferson didn't really dominate Marco Wilson. Marco Wilson turned his head because Stafford looked his way, and he manipulated him with his eyes. That created the extra separation for Van Jefferson to break inside and make the catch. So that is a big play there. Now, okay, so the Rams are up. It's 10-7. It's looking like, okay, we might have a little bit of a back and forth little battle here. And then Arizona comes back with a huge 11-play, 75-yard drive. And why did this happen? Well, when you look, this went into the end of this went in the second quarter. Okay, so it's it's 10-7 Rams. They get the ball, and they're able to move the ball. And this is a thing here with this bend, don't break. They're getting pressure on Murray, but the problem is Murray is killing you. He is going to find every single spot in your soft zone coverage. He is going to dice you up like tomatoes, okay? This is the thing that people don't get. Kyler Murray is no longer just a young quarterback that needs to get a hang of this. He needs to become a better passer. He's just a runner. He's just a gimmick. No, Kyler Murray is the MVP of the NFL right now, and I hope everybody saw what I saw today out of Kyler Murray. He was phenomenal, but this is the thing. He's getting pressured literally every snap. The Rams didn't do a bad job of pressuring him, but that's the problem. You're playing into his hands. So not only are you rushing 5, 6, whatever, here's the issue. You're playing soft zone. So because you're playing soft zone and you're rushing 5 and 6 guys, when Kyler Murray breaks through that, now he's just in the secondary, and because you're playing soft, that means you're playing 10, 15 yards off the ball. Kyler Murray already has momentum going downfield, 10, 15 yards, and he has enough speed to run by everybody if you really think about it. So that was an issue, that you're playing into his hand. So that's a big thing there. That's something that needs to be said. Kyler Murray, this is exactly how he wanted them to play. And then, of course, he throws that 14-yard touchdown to Max Williams, which goes into about 10 minutes left to go in the second. They did a nice job of taking a lot of time off the clock there. Really nice long drive that just picked them apart. I mean, we're talking, they went to 3rd and 4. This was a huge play. They needed to come through. James Conner gets 10. And then after that, they get to 3rd and 2. Chase Edmonds gets 7. And that's really the thing. I mean, they did a really nice job, Arizona did. On a 2nd and 13, they threw a 14-yard touchdown to Max Williams. The next drive, Arizona has responded. The Rams now have to respond. It's 14-10. How do you respond? This is what makes you you. This is what decides your team. What are you? What's your identity? Can you come back? And so the Rams, they get the kickoff, and then the first play of this drive, Sony Michel runs for no gain, and he fumbles the ball. It's a great punch out by Marcus Golden, a guy that I told you guys to watch out for. He was one of my 5 players to watch in the preview. He is a very underrated player. They even mentioned that Sean McVay was raving about him. It's not a surprise. This guy is very, very productive and underrated. He forces the fumble. Budda Baker gets it. Here's the problem with the Rams fumbling the ball that early on in the drive. Now you flip the position. The defense just gave up a 11-play drive that they went 75 yards over a little bit over 5 minutes. So they were on the field for 5 minutes and just constantly getting gashed. And now this fumble puts them right back on the field with their backs against the wall. And of course, the bend don't break didn't work. You broke the last drive. Now this drive, you're backed against the wall. So what ends up happening? Well, they score a touchdown. 5 plays. It takes about 1:51. And sure enough, it's a 1-yard run for James Conner. And they convert the 3rd and 16 on this play. If you remember, 3rd and 16 was on this drive. The Rams really needed to make a stop, and Kyler Murray ran for 18. Part of the problem was playing that soft zone. Part of the problem was sending the house and blitzing him. So when you send everybody up front and there's only guys in the back, those guys still have to cover all those guys because of what Kyler can do with his legs and how he can improvise and get guys open. So that's a big issue, okay? So that's the thing there. It's now 21-10. So the Rams have to respond here, obviously. They responded earlier. Okay, let's see what they do. Stafford incomplete to Kupp. Stafford incomplete to Woods. Stafford throws a rocket to Van Jefferson for a first down. Okay, they're now at the 39. Stafford goes deep to Kupp. It's incomplete. They get a defensive hold. Okay, things are going well, right? Pass incomplete to Henderson. Pass short right to Henderson for 7 yards. Now, 3rd and 3, you have to make a play here. I personally would have ran the football because they can't stop you in the ground game. At that point, Henderson's averaging close to 9 yards per carry, and instead what ends up happening is that they throw a pass, Cooper Kupp, it's incomplete, and then they punt it, and that is awful. You punting it at the Arizona 49, I'm not saying it's the wrong move, but you put yourselves in a really bad situation. You're down 11. It's really rough. 7:26 to go. I would have personally gone for it, but who knows if they made the right catch. So anyway, it's a 37-yard punt. They pin Arizona at the 12. Arizona then punts the ball. So the Rams actually, they do a good job as far as the chess match, right? Because what they do is they pin Arizona in their own territory. And on top of it, they're able to get a quick 3 and out. And so they kind of flip the field, and then they're really back where they were. I mean, the drive ends up starting right around the LA Rams 48 because of, Tutu Atwell's 4 yards on that punt return. So then this is the moment here. Are the Rams going to score a touchdown, or are they going to get a field goal? And this drive, to me, this might have really sent a message, I think, to the fans that this game was just different. They weren't there this game. This was not the Rams offense we've seen the last 3 weeks, because essentially what ends up happening is they get at the 48. They get there's a hold on Brian Allen. So it's a 10-yard play. So now they're at the LA 39. How do you respond? They run it up the middle with Henderson for 3 yards. It's 2nd and 16. Pass incomplete deep to Deshaun Jackson. Then pass to the deep middle of the field to Kupp. This is the best throw maybe of the game. Matthew Stafford fits into 3 defenders. It's incredible. The velocity is amazing. Puts it right where Kupp needs it. That is a huge play. That was a 35-yard grab. The Rams are now at the Arizona 23. They get a delay of game penalty. So now it's 1st and 15 at the 28. They get an 18-yard pass completion to Higbee. So they've responded with multiple drive stalls, with a holding call and a delay of game, and they came right back, and they're like, okay, we're in this thing. And they're driving, right? Nothing can stop them. And so then you have Darrell Henderson running for 6 yards. You're at the Arizona 4. And then you don't give it to Darrell Henderson the rest of the drive. 2nd and 4, you try to be cute by throwing to Cooper Kupp. Nope. 3rd and 4, you try to throw to Cooper Kupp. Nope. 4th and goal, you kick a 22-yard field goal with Matt Gay. So at this point, Darrell Henderson is averaging over 9 yards a carry, and you're telling me you're not going to run it with him inside the 4-yard line. And you can't say it's injury risk, because why else is he out there if he's not healthy? He looked healthy to me. I think he looked better than he's looked the whole year, and I think he's looked good. So that was infuriating, because they take this field goal when they battled back. They faced adversity on that drive. They battle back, and then they take a field goal, a 22-yard field goal. That is a win for Arizona. So essentially, you get a field goal out of that. And then you give up 17 plays to end the half. You end up coming away with only giving up a field goal. But this drive was just very painful, especially the sack that, I'm not going to get too much into that, but the sack that was called roughing. Oh, dear God. So, yeah, you go into the end of the half, you're down 24-13. It's not the end of the world, right? Except here's the problem. The bend don't break does its job. Gives up a field goal to start the third quarter. 10 plays, 4:45. Like, okay, you didn't give up the big play, but you give up a 55-yard field goal And the Rams at this moment are just kicking field goals. They're not scoring touchdowns. So the bend don't break isn't working, and earlier it didn't work because he gave up a 41-yard touchdown to A.J. Green. Okay, let's see how the Rams respond. 8-play drive, 45 yards, 352. So this is a drive. This said a lot. Henderson runs for 4. Deep middle of the field, intercepted. Cooper Kupp. It's the one where he gets the rough in the passer. He was hit in the face. So they get that away. Then you get an 11-yard run for Henderson. Again, they really can't stop him. You throw a short right to Cooper Kupp for 9. You're at the Arizona 38. Henderson runs. Arizona 36. Henderson gets it to the Arizona 33. And then, of course, there's pass short left to Henderson. 2nd and 10, they get to Deshaun Jackson. They're now at the 27. The incomplete pass deep left to Kupp, which I don't really know what Stafford was doing there. That was kind of confusing. And then 3rd and 4, that's when that happened, 3rd and 4. And then 4th and 4, at the Arizona 27, you have to settle for a field goal again. So once again, you're playing, it's negated. And then, by the way, Matt Gay misses the field goal. So it would have been 27-16. Maybe if you score a touchdown there, 27-20, it's a completely different game. But either way, Arizona comes back the next drive, 9 plays, 64 yards, taking 5 minutes off the clock, and converting on 3rd and 1. They get it, 3rd and goal, and it's now 34-13. And now you're in blowout territory. And then this is unacceptable. It's about, I think it's a 13-play. Yeah, I couldn't read that. 13-play, 74-yard drive. Rams go 4 minutes, so they didn't waste a ton of time, right? You have Jefferson for 8. You hit Kupp for 7. Then you get, the Whitworth illegal hands to the face, which was BS. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. You're back to the 30. Incomplete to Kupp. But then you get a 22-yard chunk play from Van Jefferson. Now you're at the Arizona 48, incomplete to Robert Woods. DPI, of course, on Jalen Thompson. Spot of the foul, so that's Arizona 35. You get an 8-yard play to Kupp. And now you're at the 27, incomplete pass deep right to Kupp. Then you get an 8-yard play from Stafford taking himself and running. Then Stafford pass short left to Higbee for 6 yards. 2nd and 4 at the Arizona 13. Stafford runs for 5, gets the first. Now it's 1st and goal at the Arizona 8. Stafford incomplete to Woods. Then Stafford 2nd and goal at the 8. Stafford, he got in. Okay, I don't want to hear it. Stafford got in. That call has to be made by the officials. They're on that. They should have seen that. He got in. That should have been a touchdown. However, officials are going to make mistakes, and they make plenty of mistakes. But when you have an opportunity to overturn that mistake and you don't make it, because at the end of the day, the reason he didn't do that, the reason they didn't throw the flag is so they'd have 3 timeouts. Guess how many timeouts they had when they finished the game? 3. They didn't use them. So it ended up being a moot point. And so essentially what ends up happening here is, so for whatever reason, it's now 3rd and goal. They can't get in. 4th and goal. They decide to go empty set here. 4th and 1. They can't stop Darrell Henderson. Darrell Henderson didn't get 1 carry on that entire drive. Not 1 carry on that entire freaking drive. I understand you're down, but, you had 2 snaps at the 1-yard line and you don't punch it in with Henderson? I don't know. So then, of course, after that, the defense has to make something happen, and then they're at the Arizona 1, and then, of course, you give up a 54-yard run. Just no heart from the defense at that point. Edmonds blows the game open, and that's all she wrote. Obviously, I know the Rams scored a touchdown. They went 75 yards and 224. That's pretty impressive, and, touchdown to Woods, good throw from Stafford. But, look, we're talking about a Super Bowl team. I'm not about to sit here and talk about, minor W's like that, just let's call it like it is. Arizona absolutely deserved to win the football game. They outplayed the Rams, and there was a bevy of issues. Darrell Henderson did his best. I thought he played pretty well. I thought Van Jefferson played well. Thought Kupp, needs to catch way more A lot of those targets were catchable. He's been great to this point, but you have to be able to step up. And I did just see William Blockson say, thank God for no injuries. That is a good point. There were no injuries, thank God. By the way, if you guys could like this for me real quick, I'm going to try to get to comments and such. I just had to go on my rant and just kind of explain and go through the game. I never do it that way, but I really felt like it needed to be touched on, like, drive-by-drive basis. So if everyone could please hit that thumbs up button, it's going to attract more attention to this video, this live stream, and we'll get more people in here. I have 136 of you that are viewing right now, it says. Only have about 35 likes, so it went up to 40. So if we could get that, around 100, I'd be really happy. So looking at this game, I mean, Stafford had the interception. Aside from that, I don't think he played horrible. I don't think he was great, though. Kyler Murray was fantastic. Chase Edmonds, of course, led the Cardinals in rushing, but to be honest with you, you got all of that at the end of a game when the defense had pretty much given up. I thought the Rams defense, as funny as it sounds, I mean, they did a nice job of really shutting down DeAndre Hopkins. He made one significant play, and it was a broken coverage play with David Long. Now, this really, in my opinion, begs the question, okay? When is it time to move on from David Long? Because to me, if you take away that interception on, Sunday Night Football to start the season, which was tipped, by the way, by Kenny Young, if you take that away, he hasn't really been that great. He really hasn't. He doesn't, impress me. I don't know why Terrell Burgess isn't out there or, Robert Rochelle. I think that they would offer more upside in that regard. I definitely would. And honestly, I hope the Rams put a spy on Kyler Murray. I really do. Because maybe next time if they put a spy, like say Burgess, that could actually run down Murray, they might have better success. I think the problem is they didn't really adapt. They were playing the same way they did against Tampa. They were trying to avoid the deep play. They already gave it up. And, Kyler's going to beat you all day because you don't have anybody that can stop him, when he's running like that. So, I just, I don't know. At this point, I mean, I'm annoyed, but this team's really good. I mean, the Cardinals are maybe the best team in football at the moment. They'll be number one, and spoiler alert, they'll be number one in my power rankings, regardless of how good the Patriots look against, regardless of how good Tampa looks against the Patriots. I just don't really care. To me, Arizona kind of proved today they're the number one team until, further notice. Their defense was really good. They did a nice job of getting through the offensive line. The Rams' offensive line got bullied as far as in pass pro. When they were, running the football, the offensive line, had no issues. But as far as, trying to throw, I mean, Stafford had guys in his face all game. So, credit to Chandler Jones, credit to Marcus Golden, credit to Leaky Fotu, Rashard Lawrence. I'm sure I'm missing somebody. Corey Peters, and of course J.J. Watt. Thought they all played pretty well. Credit to the secondary too. Making huge interception by a guy that I already had mentioned. I talked about in the preview if he's gonna want to get. I think he was gonna get a pick if one was thrown. Byron Murphy is just playing out of this world football. He got hurt, but man, he's a really good player. So, you gotta give credit where credit's due. I mean, they really just did a nice job. They had the Rams number, and I'll say this. For anybody wanting to just say that the Rams are done, I just don't think. I don't think you could say the Rams are done because, first off, it's week 4. Secondly, if you think the Cardinals are really, really good, then you would be negating that point by saying the Rams are bad now. The Rams are still one of the best teams in football. I don't know if they're the best at the moment. I think when it's all said and done, I still have them win the Super Bowl. I still have them going 15-2. I don't have the skies falling. And furthermore, I will say this. You learn more in your losses than you do in your wins. And so I'm glad that they got a little bit of a kick in the ass, so to speak, this early on in the season I'd hate to be Seattle. I would hate to be Seattle playing them on Thursday night because this Rams team is going to be furious. I think they're pissed, and they have every reason to be. They just got, bodied at home. To put it to put it lightly, I guess. It really wasn't close. Just the Cardinals just really outplayed them the majority of the game. So, this is a wake-up call. And hopefully the Rams realize, hey, we can't just play this bend don't break no matter who we play against, because you're going up against the same type of quarterback in Russell Wilson, who, albeit is not as fast as Murray, he still can make those plays. So they're going to have to be ready for that. And I see your super chats coming in. I know earlier, Matthew, thank you so much for the $20. Really do appreciate you. Jordan, Cards played perfect. Rams terrible. I ain't worried. Thank you for the super chat. And then Denny Bros, thank you so much for the super chat as well. I just think at the end of the day, guys, you can take a loss and a win, however, I think I'm really, when it comes to football, as opposed to, say, baseball, I'm a Yankee fan, and, when the Yankees lose, I get, annoyed, but I'm like, whatever, right? There's 162 games, When the Rams lose, it's it's different. It sucks. I understand the feeling, right? There's 17 games. There's a finite amount of games. 162 feels infinite when you really think about it. But the fact is, there's so much more football left to go. And the Rams it really came down to a couple huge miscues as far as Sean McVay's play calling, abandoning the run. I would have been very concerned. Exactly, no moral victories. I would have been very concerned if the Rams couldn't move the football, they couldn't run the football, they couldn't throw, all of that. However, they showed that they could throw. They were just a little bit they weren't on the same page today, right? You have those bad games. Everybody does. They weren't on the same page, and they could run the football. They were in the football better than they've run the whole year. So in a sense, in one area of their game, they got better this week, and that's what I'll take from this. They realize now that they can't, hopefully they realize now that they can't just keep playing that bend don't break without any sort of, change, and, they got to make adjustments to those type of quarterbacks. Like I said, you can bring 6 or 7 against Brady. You can throw the house at him, because if you get to him, he's dead in the water. You can never do that to Kyler Murray, because now those are the last line of defense. Now he's going to get to the second level, and, he can run by everybody. So, yeah, this is a wake-up call game. And, it sucks, like I said. I hate it, really hate it. You wait all week, and then you see that. But luckily, the Rams play Thursday, so it's not going to be too much of a wait for the next Rams game. And then after that, I'm not going to be one of those people that likes to call it easy. But the Rams have an easier schedule moving forward. You have the Giants, Lions, Texans, Titans. So, the Titans, that'll be on Sunday Night Football at SoFi. I'll be at the Giants game, 1 o'clock on the East Coast. The Lions game, 4:05 at SoFi, at Houston. And then, you have the Titans game. And then you have the Niners, Packers, then the Jaguars, then the Cardinals again. So, the Cardinals is a big game. That's going to be on Monday Night Football in December. We'll see. But I'm not too worried. Actually, I'm not really worried at all, to be honest with you. This schedule will work out in favor for the Rams. Obviously they have some tough games, but the Rams are going to be fine. So, yeah, my God. You're absolutely right, William, and that's been a big issue with that I've had with Sean McVay. I love Sean McVay, but it's always been the red zone with him. It's always been the red zone and getting away from the running game. The running game was working today better than anything, and they went away from it. So, but things are how they're supposed to be right now. The Cardinals deserve to be 4-0. The Rams deserve to be 3-1, and Seattle and San Francisco deserve to be 2-2. So, That's kind of how I feel, you know? Let's see. Can we not kick Denny Bross out? Because I understand he's saying all that, but he is dropping a super chat. I do appreciate that that support for the channel. Raheem has been terrible enough of the soft zone. I wouldn't say terrible. Raheem has played. He's had this defense playing well. I just think it's been really scheme dependent as far as, you know, like, yeah, he's been playing that soft zone and it works. Like I said, when you're trying to keep away the deep play, but when you finally give that 41-yard touchdown up to AJ Green, it kind of opened up the seal. And so, you know, I have an issue with that. So, guys, let's get these likes up. We got 148. Let's see if we can get to 100. Would really appreciate it. I mean, obviously, if we can get to 148 and everyone gives it a thumbs up, would be awesome. But yeah, you know, definitely helps the channel. I'm glad I did this. Normally, I do the pregame, and I could not get the pregame going. I was having all sorts of technical difficulties. Decided to go this route, and I think maybe just doing the post game makes more sense, because the pregame, it's so weird. The Rams play like right in the middle of NFL Sunday, and not everyone wants to go on and watch. So, you know, we're almost at 1,000 views in total for this. But yeah, you know, I think the important thing is, though, you gotta credit the Cardinals. You know, you can't just say the Rams should have won, the Rams blew it. Yeah, they did. I mean, they absolutely could have played better, but the Cardinals put him in that position. They really did a nice job. Cliff Kingsbury doesn't get enough respect. Hopefully that changes after today. Kyler Murray's development is so evident, and you know, I can't stress that enough. But, you know, I agree, Jose. I'd be playing. I would have played Burgess to start the season. He would have been my nickel corner. I don't know why David Long is still playing there. I mean, Long isn't too small. Long is about the same as, like, Troy Hill. Troy Hill's just a better corner. Troy Hill's disciplined. You know, that's the difference. That's why it's not a huge deal. Yeah, 3-1 last year. Yeah, I'm just not I'm not at all really interested in David Long at this point. I don't want to see it anymore. Love you too, Jobo. Appreciate you. Thank you, Darius. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate that. Wasn't too thrilled with our performance, but everything I saw was fixable, so I'm not worried. We'll bounce back. Go Rams as always. I agree with you. I mean, like you said very well. You know, everything was fixable. I mean, this is a team that will, you know, they'll realize, okay, maybe we're not doing things correctly. You know, we could do this better. We could focus in this area, and they'll make adjustments, and they'll get better in that area. So I'm not too worried about it, you know. I'm not anyway. Yes, we're at 76. Let's get it up. The reason I'm doing the thumbs up is not just to get it up, but, like, you know, just letting you guys know, like, the like button is literally the thumbs up. Because not everyone knows that. Let's see. To become a platinum member? One sec, I'll drop you the link. Let's see here. Okay, here it is. Yeah, if you want to become a platinum member, there's the link right there. Well, and that's another thing. Exactly, William. Raheem Morris isn't responsible for guys not making tackles. I do think we put way too much on the coaching staff. Like, these guys need to be disciplined. Like, do you think these guys really don't like go out there and they're not ready to play football? I mean, I guess sometimes, but I don't think that was the case today. I just think they were a little bit tight, you know. They definitely didn't seem like a loose defense, and on top of it, you look at the offense to start, so I don't think Chris Garrett got snaps, but I could be wrong. It looked like it was Lewis and Okoronkwo. If they lose to Seattle, I guess context does matter. How did they lose to Seattle? Did it come down to the wire? Did they get blown out? I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, like, I wouldn't be happy about it, but I wouldn't be like panicking. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say everything is on fire, so to speak. I wouldn't say the sky is falling. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Jose. Appreciate you. I also want to give you guys a lot. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate the super chats. It like, I can't stress that enough. At the moment, this is one of my full-time jobs. It's Downtown Rams, the podcast, and this YouTube channel. So helps a lot. We'll just say that. No, you're right. I mean, if you can't get off your block, then you're not really useful. And I think there's definitely some guys that were having an issue disengaging. And I mean, that happens, right? You know, the Rams, obviously, I mean, I saw Ernest Jones out there a little bit. The thing is, Jordan Rodrigo, when she came on our show, said it best. When Taylor Rapp is out there covering a wide receiver or whatever, that just means something went wrong with the zone. So I think there might have been some miscommunication for sure. Rams Twitter will absolutely panic if the Rams fall to 3-2. I don't panic. I hate the blue uniform, the all blue. I hate it. I said it coming into the game. I'm like, light those things on fire. I don't want to see them. I'm over it. Very much over it. We are almost 50 subscribers away from 7,000. So really do appreciate you guys for helping us get to that point. Almost there. We'll see if we get there, this upcoming week. Be cool if we got there on the stream, but I doubt that's going to happen. That would be a lot. That'd be a lot. Let's see. No, the Bucks didn't even win their division last year. Keep that in mind. The Bucks did not even win their division last year. Well, yeah, and I'm in a Rams group chat on Twitter, and not everybody, but there's some people that are super, super negative, and I understand things aren't going to do all that well, all of that, whatever. It sucks to lose and everything, but like, can you stop being so negative? This team is very good. You've watched 4-12, 1-15, 2-14. This team should not have you being negative. You know what I'm saying? That's funny that it said that I just shared the stream. I mean, I did, but it's just funny that it shows my name. Might show it again too, because I didn't even share it really much on Facebook, so that's my fault. Yeah, I mean, I'm just over the whole Raheem Morris is trash, and Kenny Young is trash, and Jalen Ramsey's not worth the money. I'm just like, I'm over all that, Thank you, Chris. Very good game. The Cardinals absolutely dominated the game, so, congrats to you, and it looks like I might not have been wrong picking the Cardinals to make the playoffs. I have Seattle missing it. Right now I have the Rams, Niners, Cardinals making it. So we'll see, but Cardinals definitely deserve to win today. I cannot stress that enough. But yeah, I'm over the whole like everyone's trash thing. You guys know what I mean. I don't like it. Have some more respect for the game. I don't know. It's just Just like calling everyone a bum too. Oh God, it's like I don't know if that's baseball culture or what, but like the whole booing and he's a bum. I've already said this on the show, but I hate it. You know, have some respect to what these guys are doing week in and week out, putting their bodies on the line, everything. I mean, these are, I don't know. I mean, I think, well, I saw earlier today someone on Twitter was saying that Raheem Morris is the worst defensive coordinator the Rams have ever had. And I was just like, wait a minute. Do you remember Greg Williams when they were up by 20 and he was sending the full house blitz and they would end up losing those games because he would just send the house and, you know, he'd blitz both safeties and leave no help over the top? Because I remember that. I watched all those games, watched him in painstaking detail in all 22. Not fun. Platinum member? So I have different perks. So like Platinum member, for instance, like you'll get like the badge next to like, you'll see like Matthew Plowden's name. You'll get a badge next to your name, and then like there's certain steps up. So like the Platinum member, I'm going to be doing it this way moving forward. You would get to be on a live stream with me. So I did a live stream with the Darksaber. I did a live stream with Ramfan Ashton. You would be on a live stream with me. Right now we have, I think, 2 people doing that. So that's what that is. And then other perks included. I don't know the list offhand, but then there's other stuff like early access videos, things like that. You know, for the lower ones. It's just really to support the channel, and so I throw perks in there to also do that as like a, you know, appreciation, so to speak. It's because of like, you know, for instance, it's like Patreon, but it's just attached to YouTube. That's essentially what it is. So yeah. I never bet on the Rams. I feel like I always jinx them. Yeah, I mean the fumble and the interception didn't help. You can see the Cardinals wanted it more. You could just see it was very evident. And sometimes it's weird how that works sometimes. Thank you, Ludacris. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. You know, shout out to Peo for scheduling that. He put that all together. Yeah, just a little bit, Darksaber. Just a tad. Just a tad. Murray is healthy now. He usually plays hurt towards the end of the season. Murray's special. Murray would get my vote for MVP right now. It's a very good humbling experience. What's up, Mark? I mean, you could argue. You could argue the Rams outplayed the Cardinals in the first quarter. No, I like Ramsey in the role that he plays. I like him all over the place. I think it's maximized his full usage, his potential. I don't. Yeah, I definitely don't mind that. No, it's true. You know, and that's the thing is like, I want to say it was Michael Brockers a year or two ago when they started losing, and he's like, we got a piece of humble pie and we needed. I mean, you're dealing with human beings. If you think these guys don't get cocky, if you think at any point these guys don't start thinking ahead, it's human beings. We're not perfect. So they'll, you know, obviously guys will say, no, we're just focusing on this game. They just beat the defending Super Bowl champions. If you don't think that they weren't thinking that they were, you know, the cream of the crop after that, I don't know what to tell you. Because, I mean, that'll always kind of settle in. That's the human nature. That's the human element of sports. I mean, the Cardinals are they're a way better team than the last team the Rams played. That's another thing to keep in mind. They got better, you know. I don't think the offensive line is any bit special, but they showed you that mobility is king, you know. And I mean, Kyler Murray is essentially getting pressured every single snap, it seemed like. And he's essentially playing out of his mind and creating things that just don't even exist. So, by the way, Matthew Stafford has some incredible moments too with his mobility. And he's not fast, but he can move. Stafford looked off, yeah, but I think the drops early on really hurt them. Cooper Kupp, and yeah, it just wasn't a great day. You're going to have those. I mean, you know, you're always going to have those. Yeah, I know what you mean. It felt very similar to both the Jets game, and on top of it, it felt similar to the Ravens game. The Ravens game, in a sense, because I've never seen a player dominate the Rams defense more than Lamar Jackson did in 2019 on Monday Night Football. But on top of it, the Jets game, because it just felt like they never looked like they were in control of that game, even when they were winning it. So, yeah. No, that's a good point. Don't forget to give this thing a thumbs up. We're over 1,000 views already. Pretty nice. I love it. We're at 90 likes. So 93. Keep it going. Yeah, you guys have been freaking awesome. We're almost at 100 likes. It is coming off a loss. We're almost at 100 likes, and we're almost at $50 in chat revenue. Yeah. Appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's really hard to get loud and stuff when you're obviously not into it, right? You know, the Rams, it's up to the Rams to keep the fans into it. The fans aren't going to be screaming for you when you're down 17. What's up, LA Rams? Rap's not that slow. He actually plays pretty fast, honestly. The issue with Rap is that, you know, when he gets put in those situations where, you know, there's a defensive breakdown, he's not fast enough to cover a corner. He doesn't have that recovery speed. He's good in his role, which is as a safety that can kind of operate around the box and, you know, make plays and run downhill as a linebacker type of guy. No. Taylor Rapp is having a good season. He does not need to be traded. Taylor Rapp is outplaying Jordan Fuller right now, from what I've seen. We need therapy after a loss. Hopefully I'm providing that for you. Oh, man. Big bummer, though, to lose that game. Thank you, Black11216. I appreciate you liking my content. There's more where that came from. I even changed my name for you guys. 85% Rams channel. Yeah. I mean, it happens. I think players do get cocky. I think it'd be ignorant to assume that they don't. Thank you for subbing. Appreciate you. NFL AZ Cardinals. Oh, AJ Green was He was very good going up against David Long. I don't think Stafford looked particularly bad. No, I don't. I don't think they look bad. Like I said, though, you have to give the Cardinals credit. You have to give the Cardinals credit. They played very well. That's the thing. It's one of those, like, I understand it's very easy to be like, man, this sucks. Like, what, you know? The linebackers don't suck. To this point, Kenny Young was looking like one of the best linebackers in the league. Just a bad game, you know? Bad game all around. It was just weird, though, how, like, they abandoned the run the way they did. Come on now. You can't back out on Stafford now. That's ridiculous. The only one that played poor enough to lose their job in one game is David Long. Appreciate you, Darksaber. Wow, that really helps and really means a lot. Man, this game was just such a bummer. Hope we can bounce back and beat the Seahawks on Thursday. McVay to me was just not good at the play calling today. I was very angry on the 4th down call. Why go for 3 when you're down 14 points? Totally agree with you. And, you know, I think furthermore, it was the tell, you know, and I mentioned it earlier. If you guys didn't see it, big issue I had was very simple. When you are dominating, okay, you are dominating on the ground. Vance Joseph's defense had no answer for your running game. Your running back is averaging 9 yards per carry, and you stop running the football. I don't care that they were down 11. There were still 2 quarters left to go. And furthermore, Darrell Henderson's run got them to the 4-yard line. The fact they didn't try running with him once when they were inside the 4, that was infuriating, but even more so, going empty set. When you go empty, you are telling the defense, hey, we're not running the football. We're not going to do it. We're going to throw it, just so you guys know. Just keep that in mind. So when they saw Henderson go out, they knew Henderson wasn't running the football. They weren't worried. Yeah, Hollins is playing really good football. It's really unfortunate that he got hurt. So I think there's a little bit of a mixture here. I think, yes, the Rams are allowed to have a bad game. I think the Rams are probably better than the Cardinals, but in the power rankings, so to speak, based on today, I do think the Cardinals are better than the Rams as of right now following that game. It'd be unfair to rank the Rams ahead of the Cardinals in the power rankings after the Rams lost convincingly to the Cardinals head-to-head. That's the best way I could put it. Yeah, exactly. It's just one game, you know? It's annoying. No, I'm going to keep the Rams. I mean, I know that the national media will have a field day and say the Rams aren't that great. Probably, I don't know. Maybe they won't, but I mean, looking at my power rankings, just to give you guys kind of like a hint, I don't want to give away my Bogan 10 for this week, but the Cardinals are going to be 1, the Rams are going to be 2, and Tampa is going to be 3? Unless the Raiders win convincingly against the Chargers. If the Raiders beat the Chargers, I think the Raiders are 3 for me, and Tampa would drop to 4. So that's what I would do. That's really funny with the McVay comment. No, you shouldn't watch the national media. If you want Rams coverage, you should just watch me. You should watch Payo Time. You should watch Rams House. You should watch Rams Talk. You should watch... I mean, there's so many Rams channels on YouTube. Just, even if you don't want to get on your computer or your phone, just turn on your smart TV. Turn on your Apple TV, your Fire Stick, your Roku, and just watch the YouTube app and watch us like we're your TV show. Because there's no point in watching all of that. It's just going to get you upset. And they don't watch the games the way we all do. So, yeah, I can't wait for that. The Rams will drop to like 10 in the power rankings. You're absolutely right. The best Rams talk besides me? I mean, I don't have anyone that's particularly the best, so to speak. I mean, after, there's me, there's Rams Talk, there's Rams House, Payo Time, Rams House TV. I mean, you have plenty of Rams content, so I wouldn't say that there's a best one. I think that they all offer their own different perspective. I mean, if you're looking for a super, like high energy type of stream, obviously I can give you that at times, but not the way Rams House TV does. They're always super, super hyped and everything. I can't match that the whole stream. Now, if you're looking for, a young guy, someone that's younger than me, Rams House is young and up and coming and got his start very, very early on. Knows his stuff, passionate fan. You could go there. If you're looking for someone that, has been doing this the longest, Rams Talk, Trent Loomis over there has been doing this the longest. I think we've been doing it about the same amount. Maybe I've been doing it longer, but not on this platform, because before I was just, keep in mind, before, the reason you guys, I just came out of nowhere is because before I was just doing a Rams podcast called the Downtown Rams Podcast. I'm still doing that, but that's all I was doing before. And that's why it seemed like I seemingly came out of nowhere. But thank you, McVay. Appreciate you with the nice talk there. And then Payo Time is just, he's super nice, right? Like, that's the type of dude you want to have a beer with. I've been on his show now twice. If you're looking for a passionate Rams fan that, is just a super friendly, good person, obviously, really down to earth and knows his stuff, then you would go to him. And there's other ones too. That's all I'm thinking of right now. I obviously, I'm sure there's others. Those are the ones that I know. Those are the ones that interact with me the most. I can't think of all of them off the top of my head. There's a bunch, but yeah. Yeah, I've been noticing that, Mark. Well, Turf Show Times is great. I mean, Holden Cantor, I don't know if he's here, but, he's a buddy of mine. He started at DTR. I've been watching him grow. He's good. Very, very insightful, and this is somebody that, is super, super motivated and dedicated and passionate. So you're going to get good coverage from him. And then Kenneth Arthur at TST, he's also really good too. They've done a really nice job there. You have Cam DeSilva over at Rams Wire. And on top of that, you have, my main man, Blaine Grisak on Downtown Rams, who is the managing editor of Downtown Rams. You guys have seen him on here before. Alexis Kraft, my co-host, will be getting a Downtown Rams podcast out probably tonight or tomorrow. So, I mean, there's a lot of great people, that are out there creating content. Sosa Kremenjas on, Rams, Locked on Rams, and, I'm trying to think of everyone so I don't leave anyone out. I know Rams Brothers, LA Football Network, Ryan Dairu does a great job over there. Dear God, I'm trying to I apologize in advance if I forget anybody, but, you know, that's kind of all I'm really thinking of right now. Hold-in rights for Turf Show times. And then, on top of it, if you guys are looking to nonstop talk about Rams football, or you like the horror movie content that I'm going to be dropping, or you like MCU or anything like that, or you just want a really dope community to be a part of, then I would steer you to my Discord channel. Shot by Nolan knows exactly what I mean by that. Let's see. I'm trying to... It's taking forever to load, but I wanted to... Okay, you know what? I'm just going to cancel this because I was trying to put up Discord. I'll just do it on my phone. But yeah, the Discord channel, we have 344 people in there. It's a great community. You'll never miss a video because all the stuff is posted there automatically. You'll never miss an article because all the stuff is posted there automatically. On top of that, you'll really never miss Rams content because everyone's kind of, you know... They're all together in a sense. They're all just trying to get the best content out there and share it with everyone. So just keep that in mind, is that, you know, you'll always have stuff there. Let's see. 1 second. Okay. So everyone join that Discord channel if you didn't already. It's free of charge. I know there's other people that charge for the Discord channels, but not I. And not I. I will never do that. So if you want to join, that is the join link. Obviously, the majority of you in here have already joined. So, also, for you horror movie fans out there, just want to throw it out there. I'm going to be doing a podcast with my friend Jarrett Bailey, who's, you know, he's writing all sorts of places, another football creator. We're going to be doing a horror movie podcast called The Devil's Eyes, and we're going to be recording it. I believe it'll be live, too, this Wednesday. So keep that in mind. Discord is essentially a 24/7 group chat. You can mute notifications. It's not going to blow up your phone. You have access to deal with it however you want. But if you want to be connected to all these people, it's like another Twitter, so to speak, except it's only those topics. And the group chat is just so intuitive, and it's great. It really is. It gives you a lot of flexibility on how to use it. They really did, but yeah, I hear you, Ted. I think Arizona can beat... The Arizona I saw today could beat anybody. Yeah, I'm going to blame it on my father, who didn't watch the game with me for like the first time since, what I want to say, the Ravens game, right? In 2019. Not to put fire on you, Dad, but if you guys see Jason Ellenbogen in the chat, that's my father. But yeah, he was not here today, and normally we watch all the games together, so maybe that's why. Yeah, no, I hear you. Okay, you're talking about the roundtable thing? Probably this month, later on this month, all the platinum subscribers will do that. Platinum members, sorry, I'm not trying to confuse people. What do I think about the Raiders? I don't think the Raiders are talking about the Rams. I think it's probably the fans. I don't really care, to be honest with you. I mean, I respect the Raiders. I like Derek Carr. I like that he's having success. I feel like he's always been underappreciated, you know, so I don't really care. Well, I wouldn't. Hey, don't call Kyler Murray a midget. Keep in mind, he's like the same height as me. No, so I mean, yeah, it was a tough game today, but again, I just think it was a bad game, and you know, like I said, you got to give credit to the Cardinals. That's really what it comes down to. Appreciate it, guys. We got over 100 likes, $124 of chat revenue. Just really appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Dark Saver, Chris Melhan. Sorry if I got your name wrong. Jordan Murakami, Darius Hines, Denny Bross, and Matthew Plowden. Thank you guys so much all for donating on this stream. It really does help it, and it helps the growth of the channel, and it's really, really appreciated. How are we going to address the third corner and edge rusher opposite Floyd situation if our defense is doomed? I don't think the defense is doomed. I don't think that really has much to do with it. I honestly just think they kept playing their type of game, and they didn't really adjust to Kyler's type of game, you know? And I think they wanted to play Kyler how they wanted to play. Yeah, they didn't make adjustments. You know, that bend don't break does not work with a guy like Kyler Murray, and when they started trying to blitz Murray, you're playing into his hand, like I said earlier. You know, you're playing into a mobile quarterback's hand when you blitz them. When you send the house like that, you're leaving a very minimal amount of guys, bodies around this, you know, the secondary and the second level or whatever to tackle him. So I didn't see any injuries. No, there was no answer for Murray. I mean, he's the MVP of the league right now, in my opinion. I don't really see it being close so far, what I've seen. Yeah, I mean, I think the Rams are going to beat Seattle. I know there's some people that are worried about that. I'm not worried about that at all. I think the Rams beat Seattle. I wouldn't say, but here's the thing, guys. Keep this in mind. I wouldn't say Raheem Morris is he's not a massive downgrade. Keep this in mind. Early on in the game, they were playing for, you know, the bend don't break. If David Long doesn't give up that 41-yard touchdown, it's a completely different start to the game. And you have to keep in mind that's how they're playing exactly how they want them to play. They're letting them have all the yards over the middle and all of that and keeping in front of them instead of over the top. When you allow a play over the top, when you're already giving up the middle of the field and everything, then all of a sudden that's out of pocket. That's not something you're expecting. It's something out of the game plan. It changes your approach. And so that was a big thing. David Long really screwed up on those two plays. Not getting enough depth in his zone coverage. First off, you know, allowing Kyler to complete that to DeAndre Hopkins. And then downfield, giving up that touchdown to A.J. Green. Well, I mean, you can blitz Kyler all day, you know. You can do that all day. I mean, the thing is, if you get to Kyler Murray, it doesn't matter if you pressure him, okay? Kyler Murray is so talented. He knows how to roll out. You know, this isn't somebody like I was watching, Jalen Hurts today. I thought Jalen Hurts played really well considering against Kansas City. But the fact is, Jalen Hurts doesn't have that ability that Kyler has. He can maybe get that over time, but when Jalen Hurts is running away, he runs back. Kyler stays around the same level, so he's running pretty much on a line, and he's not sacrificing yards. And he's always smart with the football. Well, at least in this game he was. You know, and I just think he's hit another level. No, blitzing is the wrong approach. It's not the wrong approach if it's Tom Brady and you can get to him. It's not the wrong approach if it's Ben Roethlisberger and you can get to him. You know, it's not the wrong approach if it's Matthew Stafford and you can get to him. It's the wrong approach when it's Kyler Murray or Lamar Jackson or Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. I mean, any of those guys. You don't want to be blitzing those guys. because they will kill you if you don't. You have to make sure it's not just a pressure, it is a sack, or it is an incomplete pass, or it's a throwaway, or it's a forced fumble or something. I mean, you can't, like, as you saw, I mean, you can't just pressure them. But I mean, guys, let's not act like, let's not act like Raheem Morris is the only defensive coordinator in Rams history to give up the 3rd and long, because you could go back to the Buffalo game in week 3 last year. The Rams had like a 3rd and 20 on that final drive against Buffalo, and they gave that up. They've been doing this for years. No matter who the coordinator is. I mean, it happens. I don't know why, but the all blue uniforms I would light on fire. I don't know if I've said that already on this stream. I would absolutely take a flamethrower and light them on fire. Thank you so much, Darius. Really appreciate you. The Evil Within 2, I don't have it, but maybe sometime I could give it a shot. I haven't gamed in a while. I've been watching a lot of horror movies, but I haven't really gamed. Finally watched, what was it? Cabin Fever. I finally watched The Fly. But I haven't really gamed, so I'll probably try to get back on that. Because as I mentioned in the title of my channel now, it's 85% LA Rams channel. The 15% is everything else. So why don't I like the blue uniform? It's the optics. Does the blue uniform actually have anything to do with them winning and losing? Absolutely not. There's no scientific evidence out there to prove that the wearing all blue hurts your performance in play. Doesn't make you slower. Doesn't make you throw, more inaccurate. Doesn't make you run slow. All that, whatever. But it's the optics. If they're constantly losing with those things on, I don't want to see them. If they constantly win with the bone, I'll just watch the bone. I don't care. It's all about the optics. It's like, think about it. Do you think the Rams would already have the all yellow, the all soul, the yellow jerseys and the yellow pants? Don't you think they would have had that by now? Here's the thing. They were undefeated in those, and then they got destroyed by the Ravens, and now that's all anyone associates those with, is that one game against the Ravens. You have not seen them since, and I don't know if you'll see them. So it is all optics in that regard. Have you watched The Birds, or is that not a horror movie? I did a while ago. I would have to rewatch it because I don't remember it. But I think it's considered a horror movie, yeah. Well, there you go. 0-3 with all blue. Yeah, I hate the all blue. I really do. They didn't win the preseason when they had the all blue either. If they can't win the preseason with all blue, then I don't even know what to say. Exactly. It's very simple. The optics are that they are cursed. 100%. 100% agree. Burn the all blue. Yeah, there we go. Look bad, play bad. Not excuses. No. Hey, NFL AZ Cardinals, I saw when you subbed. If you have been here as long as you were since you've subbed, it was 24 minutes ago. I've given you a lot of props. I've given the Cardinals a lot of props. I'm not taking anything away from them. Although I'm not going to lie, I thought it was really funny in the broadcast. They're like, you got to give the Cardinals credit. I think they said that about 30 times today. Obviously you got to give them credit. I thought it was funny. I don't even remember seeing that before. But yeah, it was, what's his name? You guys know what I'm talking about. It was every 2 seconds. You got to give Colt McCoy credit. Colt McCoy hasn't played in this game. He just basically went out to kneel the ball. What do you mean you have to give him credit? It's so funny. Oh, awesome. Well, thank you, Matthew. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, it takes time. It's a little bit of a learning curve, but you get the hang of it. It's pretty It's just once you're using the Discord yourself, you'll realize it's pretty easy. I actually missed Jared today. That's funny. No, I agree. Hey, I really do appreciate you subbing to my channel. Yes, I do appreciate everyone that hits the like button. That is always a help. I didn't miss Jared. I didn't miss Jared today. I was reading S. McVeigh. His comment. I don't think I've ever seen that in all my years watching football. The fumble snap interception. Ragnow snapped it into his shoulder, and the ball went ricocheted into a defensive lineman's hands. It was really bizarre. I've definitely never seen anything like that. I'm not even going to pretend I have. It's one of those unfortunate things, but at the same time, it's only Jared Goff. By the way, he is absolutely obsessed with, what's his face? Raymond. Khalif Raymond. Just obsessed. Oh, yeah, I don't talk about college football because, yeah, I like Alabama, I like USC, and I like Kansas. Obviously, Kansas is my favorite team, and they lost 59-7. So, wasn't a good day at the offense for them. Oh, I saw Hereditary. Yeah, Hereditary is pretty nuts. I mean, if you're wondering what we're going to cover on the horror podcast, The Devil's Eyes, Jared and I are going to do a preview of Halloween Kills. So that'll be the first episode. The score of the next game right now, if I had to pick, Rams 34, Seahawks 24. One positive and negative takeaway from today's game. Positive, they got Darrell Henderson running. I mean, I thought Henderson looked better than he's looked the entire season. And then the negative is just, it felt like a step back. I would say the positive, yeah, the positive is no injuries, but, I don't want to be obvious there. I would say Darrell Henderson, and I'll cheat. I'll say Darrell Henderson and Van Jefferson's game. They both played very well. And then the negative would be, it just seemed like a step back for both sides, the offense and the defense. I mean, the negative really just seemed like they didn't move forward in this game. They didn't get better. It looks like they looked worse. So, obviously, it's a bad game, but you don't like to see it. So Goff is 0-11 without Sean McVay. Is that what you're saying? Dear God. Well, yeah, I mean, if we want to talk about the good about today, if there's any good on my side, it would be the Yankees. My Yankees got in the playoffs. Aaron Judge hit a single and scored, and bottom of the ninth, it was 0-0. Very rare down to the wire game, 0-0, and they get to the playoffs, and they have to play Boston in Boston. So I hate the one-game playoff. I won't get into how much I hate it. I think it's a really stupid idea. But, having 162 games come down to one game is just insane. But, AD's not slowing down. I mean, he should have had a sack or two. Guys, you know. I talked about this. They're not throwing flags. Aaron Donald is being held every play. Some more than others, right? But, I mean, really, he is held at least once every play. And it's until they start throwing those flags, I mean, it's not going to stop. No, the Yankees are not better than the Rays. Yeah, the Mariners came close. Here's the thing, like, not just to totally trash the Red Sox, but, like, I think it's funny because the Yankees had to play the freaking Rays to get into the playoffs. And the last series for the Red Sox, they got to play the Nationals, who have, like, 60 wins. So... Goff is like a donut that no one wants to eat. Oh, that's mean. That's a bummer. Yeah, the Mariners came close. Yeah, Sebastian Joseph Day got held big time. Hey, Cardinals fans deserve it. They were 0-8 against the Rams, since 2017, since McVay took over. Keep in mind, the Cardinals, the last time the Rams played the Cardinals was New Year's Day 2017 during the 2016 season. That was it. That was the end of that season, and it sent Sean McVay right to the Rams. Sean McVay changed everything and basically beat the Cardinals 8 straight times since. So, the Cardinals finally won. They have to feel good about that. I forgot you saw a playoff game, Dad. Oh, you saw multiple playoff games. You used to go all the time. I'm not going to say who I want because I don't want to offend anybody in this chat. Obviously, I want the Rams, but you know what I mean. Or not the Rams, talking baseball. Obviously, I'd want the Yankees, but you know what I mean. Raheem Morris's defense doesn't stink. Does not stink. It's through 4 games. Keep in mind, Raheem Morris is basically taking a lot of what Brandon Staley had installed, and he's implementing more onto it. They didn't really try Jalen Ramsey in the star position last year. They definitely didn't try Darius Williams in the star position. And so now they're implementing those guys in bigger roles to have more of an opportunity to make more plays as corners. They're not just playing the corner, and that's why David Long got put into that position to have to really guard DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, yeah, that's such a mom thing to say. My mom, anyway. Sorry the Rams lost. I appreciate that. I think the Cardinals are better than the Rams at this moment until proven otherwise. Like I said, I think the Rams at the end of the season will be hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. But as of right now, if I'm making a power ranking, I'm not putting the Rams ahead of the Cardinals after they just beat them head-to-head convincingly. I don't know what you mean by that, though. When Morris took over Atlanta, keep in mind that nonstop, like that really high octane passing attack that Tampa had that no one could beat last year, Morris came the closest. They barely lost. They lost by 5, 31-26. With that Falcons team. He had them competing. I disagree. I just think that, at the end of the day, Morris is going to get a lot of heat because it's a new defensive coordinator. And I think, it's really hard to gauge Morris as a defensive coordinator during the game, too. You have to keep that in mind. When you go back and you watch the film, you watch all 22, you can kind of identify things. You can identify where guys went wrong and things like that, but you don't know for sure. You don't know what the play was supposed to be. And if you're sitting here saying man, I just don't really like David Long, and you're saying, well, David Long's a weak link, then you're admitting that David Long, in the the interest of the scheme, or like his job, so to speak, he's not doing his job. So therefore, that's not really a Raheem Morris problem. That is a David Long problem. And like I said earlier, he didn't get enough depth in his zone, and that's why DeAndre Hopkins caught the 25-yard play. And then later on that drive, when they had the 41-yard touchdown to A.J. Green, he just got bodied by A.J. Green. And A.J. Green is not A.J. Green of the past. He's not A.J. Green, 1,000-yard receiver A.J. Green. He is the A.J. Green at the end of his career. We have not seen a lesser explosive A.J. Green since. So, I'm not a fan of saying it's all Raheem Morris's fault. I mean, the game plan, they all agree on the game plan. Sean McVay has a lot of say with this defense too, And Sean McVay, I'm sure, has come to, he's come with Raheem Morris and he said, they want to do that. They want to play the bend, don't break. And you know why? Because they have an offense that should score touchdowns on almost every drive, and they're okay with trading touchdowns with field goals. That's why you play the bend, don't break. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't think Raheem Morris is bad at all. I actually think he's a good defensive coordinator, and I think he should be a front runner at the end of the season and be a head coach. He should already be a head coach, but that's neither here nor there. My point is that you can't say this guy's not doing his job and then be like, oh, also the defensive coordinator sucks. Because, first off, we don't know what was called. We'll never know. But secondly, I just think, to me, when you look at it, Raheem Morris isn't struggling. It's David Long that was struggling on those two instances, and then the whole game, it seemed like. So, that's not on Morris. Think about this. If he was making the plays that he needed to make, then Morris's scheme works effectively, which coincides with their game plan. So, I'm just saying, I'm going to keep defending him as long as I find it necessary. I'm not dying on a hill, so to speak, but I'm going to defend him when I feel like he's being unfairly thrown onto the bus. And like that Rams group chat I'm in on Twitter, and people are constantly like saying that he's trash. I'm just like, he's not trash. And not to sound like that guy, but if you're not watching the All-22 film, if you're not even rewatching the game after the game has been played, then your say on Raheem Morris is just not fully, it's not an accurate statement. It's not really, I'm not saying it's invalid, but there's not enough information that you've consumed watching the film and going through and be like, okay, Morris is not very good because this, and this. If you're just saying Morris is trash, explain why he's trash. Because here's the thing, it's like what Jordan was saying on our podcast, Jordan Rodriguez, when she said, when you see Taylor Rapp covering a wide receiver, and fans will go on Twitter and they will flame Taylor Rapp, they will, fry him. Taylor Rapp shouldn't be covering a receiver. If Taylor Rapp is ever covering a receiver, that means in some case the play call was either bad by Raheem Morris or it wasn't executed correctly. So it's never is. And the thing that I learned so much with football over the years is that nothing is ever black and white when it comes to football. Nothing. It's not as simple as he sucks, he's good, he's great, he's elite. All these guys can play. It's not as simple as that. It's not as simple as being like, Stafford missed Van Jefferson right there. He should have thrown to Van Jefferson. He was right there. When you go back, you watch the All-22, you'll feel silly. You'll see why he didn't throw to Van Jefferson, because Van Jefferson, 20 yards down the field, looks open on TV, but you can see Budda Baker just hovering right around that area. Obviously, this guy has great short area burst. He ran a 4.3, I believe, 4.4 around that. He's going to pick that off. So, it's you just can't be like, it's this way, it's this way, it's this way. There's a lot of reasons for a lot of things. Now, I have no reason whatsoever why the Rams went empty set on 4th and goal when Arizona and Vance Joseph's defense could not stop Darrell Henderson to save their life. I won't understand it. I won't understand why they basically are like, we're throwing the football. Just letting you guys know, throwing the football. You try to beat us, they beat you. So that was pretty black and white, but most of the time it's not. Oh, no, I'm not panicking. I'm just explaining. I'm not concerned about this loss. It's a bad game played by the Rams. It's a great game played by the Cardinals. I don't love the bend don't break. I get it. Keep in mind, their game plan was not expecting to only have 13 points until, scoring a touchdown garbage time. I'm sure they thought they were going to come out with a lot more fire on offense. When you play that style of game, when you've already set out and you've decided we are going to allow a ton of yards over the middle of the field, keep everything in front, as long as we're not giving up the big play, you're admitting, hey, we're not pitching a shutout in this one, but we're expecting the offense to make it so it's not a necessity. But when the offense isn't having their best game, it puts a lot of pressure on them, puts a lot of pressure on the defense, and then you can't keep playing it. So the problem is when they kept playing it, they're playing that far off their man, But yeah, I don't know. I don't know, William. At the goal line, it was hard to watch, but yeah, 2 red zone trips and a missed field goal. Couldn't convert. Yeah, well, any final thoughts before I wrap this thing up? I've enjoyed talking with you, but I'm not going to have a voice, so I'm going to have to stop because I can already feel it kind of going. Yeah. I mean, all I needed to know, are the Cardinals for real? They proved it today for me. They're for real. Right now, they're the best team in the NFL. So, I think D. Will's played well, This therapy session was enlightening. I'm glad. Maybe I'll stop calling it the post game and maybe I'll just call it therapy. JE therapy. JE live therapy session. Stafford didn't have his best game, but when you really look, I don't think he had that bad of a game. He had a few drops early on. He had an interception in which, he underthrew Deshaun Jackson. But like I said, earlier, Deshaun Jackson has to do a better job of competing for that football. He needs to go up and at that moment, he needs to realize, as somebody that's been doing this thing for years, is one of the best deep ball threats in the league over the last decade or so. He needs to realize when he needs to be able to see that a ball is coming in and it's not going to hit his hands. And he needs to all of a sudden either try and make a crazy catch, try to readjust himself, or he needs to become a defensive back and swat the ball away. Because like I said, as much, of an issue I had with Matthew Stafford underthrowing the football, I had just as much of an issue with Deshaun Jackson not trying to actually readjust himself and make the catch. That's one of those things where you're targeting Deshaun Jackson in, contested coverage, and he's not likely to go up there and make a catch, whereas that's a great thing about Cooper Kupp. He would have gone up and tried to make that play. I guarantee you it's not an interception if it's thrown to Cooper or Van Jefferson or Robert Woods or Higbee. Deshaun isn't like that. He needs to get better with that next time they throw that. Of course, Stafford has to throw a better ball. I'm not lying about that, but So far, Stafford's been great for them. He had not his best game today, but it happens, and, on to Seattle. So that's it. I'll have a Seattle preview. We'll have to do it a little bit earlier. I think those videos turn out pretty good. So we'll do the Seattle preview, probably come out around, I want to say Wednesday. So Wednesday around noon maybe. So we have the Seattle preview Wednesday. We're going to have a Downtown Rams podcast either tonight or tomorrow with Alexis and I. And then we're going to do, obviously, a pregame show before the Thursday night game, post-game. And then, we'll just going to keep putting out content. I'll do some JE live, or I'll do some JE film room if I can. Last week, I had to literally toss all of my footage from the All-22. I had a video made, but it came out so late, I decided it's just stale at this point. So toss that footage. It took forever to come out. The NFL took forever to drop All-22, and I was having all sorts of issues, so that's why it didn't come out. So if I have time for it, I'll put out an All-22 film room on the Rams against the Cardinals. But yeah, if I don't, then I'll try and aim for the next week. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. You can follow me at JKBogan on Twitter. You can also subscribe to the channel for more content. Also, hit the bell icon if you haven't already. That way, every single time I release a video, you'll be notified instantly on your phone. If you're on your phone, hit the bell icon. What else was I going to say? Oh, and check out the Downtown Rams podcast. So, yeah, I love y'all. Be good people. I'll see you guys soon. Later.